Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and we have got another video where there is a lot to get to. There is so much going on currently in the raid community. Patch 2.20 has launched yesterday. I hope you are enjoying the patch. Unfortunately, there's been some lag issues, and Plarium sending out some compensation because of that. We'll dive into that for a second. And the most important thing in this video is probably that there is a fragment summoning event that's going to be launching soon. I will give you as much information as I can about that. And then we've also got two different 10x summoning events coming this week / this weekend. We've never seen that go on before. I will get you all the infographics, champion ratings, and champions that are going to be a part of that. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so the first thing I want to touch on is we are going to have another Fragment Summon event. We don't have a whole lot of information. I will get you what I can. This is what the champion is going to look like, and it's going to be an Ogryn Tribes Legendary that is a Spirit Affinity support champion. That's as much as I know, guys. I don't know the kit or the exact details of the event itself, other than the fact that it's going to be a Fragment Summoning event, similar to the Krila Witch Arm that we just did about a month ago. It's not going to be the old school style fusion where you've got rares that fuse into epics and then epics that fuse into a legendary. It's going to be a fragment summoning event. Now, I am curious about your guys' opinion on this, because whenever I have polled the community or asked people on stream, it seems about 50-50 on if people prefer the fragment summoning event or the old school fusion type event. So let me know down in the comments. I really want to get feedback on this, because I can't get a grasp of which one the community prefers. I think it kind of depends on the structure itself. Some of the old school fusions were a lot more realistic to do than ones like the Foley fusion that was extremely tough. So I think personally it comes down to each event and how it's structured on which one is better or not. But definitely let me know what you think. I would super appreciate it. And you also notice that today there's going to be some in-game compensation going on, and this is for lag issues that have been caused by patch 2.20. Now, I don't know what's causing this. I haven't seen really any feedback on the specific reason, but I know yesterday my game was almost unplayable on stream. Today it seems a little bit better, but when I do certain actions, it's definitely still hiccuping a little bit. So I'm sure Plarium is working really hard to get that corrected, and hopefully that happens soon. So all we can do is kind of hang in there and hope it improves. But let me put away this this artwork for the Fragment Summoning event, and let's pop up this infographic here about the two 10x events that are going to be going on. Now, what I did was I condensed them both into one graphic, and this is all taken from my tier list. I just extrapolate the champions that are going to be part of the event, throw them in an infographic, but you can see my full tier list and all these ratings, so how these champions compare to everyone else in the game and where they rank in certain areas, down below in my actual full tier list. That's where I got this info from. But yeah, so this is gonna be tomorrow. Is gonna be Vizier, Netheril, Blindseer, Lightsworn, and Talia. Then on Sunday, it's gonna be Tyrant Ixthamor, Crypt King Grawl, Biggin, Defiled Sinner, Royal Guard, and Lua. So definitely keep that in mind, that it's going to be they're not going to all launch at the same time. There's actually two different 10x summoning events, so it can get a little bit confusing. Just make sure you look at the portal before you summon, and they'll usually like if you click in the eye, they will list the champions down here, or they will list them somewhere in terms of which champions are currently in the 10x event. But yeah, in terms of looking at these champs that are involved in the 10x and is it worth it or not, we actually do have some pretty good legendaries. If you're struggling to get through the spider, Tyrant Ixthamor is a massive summon for your account. He is a monster in getting to Spider 20 and can be a big piece of the puzzle in completing that. Netheril is a really good, generally useful champion that places lots of poisons and does stun and turn meter reduction. Really good champion. Biggin is insane. I'm seeing him more and more in the arena every week. He's becoming more and more common, super common in 3v3 arena. He's amazing for faction wars and so many different dungeons. For a new player, Biggin is one of the best legendaries you can summon. He can be an absolute account changer for early to mid game players, and he's amazing in the end game as well. Vizier is one of the best champions in the game for the clan boss. Those debuff extensions are just bonkers in terms of cranking out damage in sustained clan boss fights. Blindseer has gotten a buff recently. Her kit is a little bit better. Crypt King Grawl is the worst legendary out of the legendaries that are part of the 10x's going on this week, but even he can at least be decent in like Faction Wars or something. He's got a pretty big aura and some good base stats, so not a complete trash can, but definitely the worst of the legendaries in this event. And then we also get some epics as well that are pretty good. Royal Guard and Allure are definitely the two best epics in this, in my opinion. And even though Allure has a 5.9 for a grade, she is S tier in certain areas of the game. Fire Knight, lots of the potion keeps. She'll lock down the boss from ever getting a turn. She's amazing in Faction Wars. The reason she grades out as a 5.9 is because in my tier list, it's weighted on certain areas being more important than others to try to get the most accurate overall rating on how impactful that champion is for your account. Allure is really bad in the clan boss and the arena, and those are two of the most heavily weighted areas of my tier list. So Allure being bad in those two areas really pushes down her rating, but besides those two areas, she is an amazing champion. Same with Royal Guard. Not great in the arena or the clan boss, but he is super endgame in so many different dungeons and cranks out a ton of DPS. He is super common in the endgame in a lot of speed farming compositions. And then the other epics are pretty situational and not really worth pumping a bunch of resources into, in my opinion. Lightsworn and Talia can be decent in the early to mid game, but yeah, I wouldn't say they're super amazing epics worth diving into. And then Defiled Sinner is the worst champion in the 10Xs going on this week, in my opinion. So I guess the main gist people are going to be wondering always for these things is it worth it? Should I be summoning? Should I be pulling shards during these events to get these champions? I recommend that you typically wait for 2X events. Now, I guess one exception would be if you spend a decent amount of money, if you're a pretty top tier spender and you're legendary chasing or champion chasing for a certain champion, then for that person it might make sense to pull, like for a super endgame player that doesn't have Vizier yet. It might make sense to go after this. If you're a pretty decent spender who's really struggling to progress in the spider, it might be worth pulling to try and get that tyrant who can completely change your account in spider progression. Or if you don't have a Royal Guard, it can be worth it to go for that because it's pretty common to get the 10X epic champions. It's a lot easier to get them than it is for the legendaries. So if you don't have Royal Guard or Allure, it might be worth pulling a few shards until you get a couple epics and seeing if you can yeet one of those Royal Guards or Allure. But I would say for 90-something% of you out there, I would still recommend that you hold off and wait for the next 2X summoning event. And I do want to hammer this home again before I put this away. These do not all launch at the same time. I just, for convenience sake, put them all into one list so you can compare all the champions and 10Xs this week. But tomorrow until Sunday, it's going to be Vizier, Netheril, Blind Seer, Lightsworn, and Talia. Then on Sunday, the 10X is going to switch to a different one, and it's going to be Tyrant, Crypt King Grawl, Biggin, Defiled Sinner, Royal Guard, and Lua. And then just a quick discussion about the Forge now that we've had a little bit of time to digest it and see it in game. I did a poll yesterday on the stream, and it seems like the two most commonly crafted sets are going to be the Swift Parry and the Perception set. And what I'm currently doing and my thought process around the Forge is I'm going to be saving up some resources so that I can really plug in the charms that I really want and go after certain pieces and substats and do I'm going to kind of pool up for a few weeks or a month, and then I'm going to do a big crafting session when I can really target things and give myself a better chance to go after. I don't know if it's optimal to craft this stuff in small batches. I think it's going to probably be better to save up for a few weeks or a month and then do one big crafting session where you can really plug in the charms that you want to target specific things. But if I'm wrong on that and you disagree, definitely let me know. I would really love to hear that because we're all kind of learning the mechanics of the Forge as we go here. If you think it's optimal to use your resources when you get them and just keep crafting so you can get pieces as soon as possible, I would love to hear your input on that. Or if you agree with me that it might be better to pool up for a little bit and then really target what you're looking for. I think that's the route I'm leaning towards, but let me know what you think. I would love to hear it. And then this is typically the part of the video where I would go over the in-game offers and get them graded for you so that you know how to spend efficiently if you're going to buy anything today. I've been playing Raid since basically the start, and this is the only time I don't see any limited time offers. Like right here on the right side, there's usually some sort of offer going on. I don't see them in the shop. There's no limited time offers or anything going on in game. So let me know down in the comments, are you experiencing that, or is this a bug on my end? Because I have never seen no offers, no limited time offers going on in the game ever in my life in terms of playing Raid. So I tried restarting and everything. That is very interesting. I wonder if that's intentional or if that's some sort of bug going on with the update and us getting the compensation right here for the in-game issues going on. So that's definitely interesting and something I have never seen before. So yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Remember, we're gonna be having 2 different 10x events going on this weekend. There is the infographic of those champions in case you wanted one last look at that. And then we're also going to be having a fragment summoning event starting. I gave you as much information as I could, and as soon as I know anything more, I will make sure you guys know it as well. So yeah, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.